It's hard to imagine that 45 years ago, the World Series of Poker started in a room that was the size of a closet, and now it's the size of an airport.
This is what the main event's all about. The swings, the long hours, but it's all worth it in the end.
It's amazing. It is just beyond my wildest dreams. Right now, I'm just enjoying the ride and hoping it lasts, but we'll see.
I'm sure you could probably actually get hit by lightning before you win the main event. So, you know, the odds are not in your favor.
Today isn't the day to celebrate. Today is the day to stay focused.
Poker is a long journey. There's going to be ups and downs. No matter how good you are, no matter how good you're running, you're going to have lows.
This tournament isn't just a one-day event. It's a marathon, so can't get too excited. There's a long road ahead of you.
I'd rather win the main event once than win a favorable judgment in 25 straight divorce court hearings.
That's your Dolly Brunson, who wrote the book.
And there it is. Helmuth wins the championship. This is gonna be the best day of Ryan Reese is the world champion. Biggest day of my life.
We're in the money at the main event. Now the focus is on the $10 million first place prize.
Day 5, baby. Let's do this.
Big day. Let's do it. We're on day 5. I got 1.3 million in chips and ready to make back-to-back November 9s.
I mean business. Lassoing those chips, baby. They're coming right to me.
Day 5. Excited. Nervous, but excited. Really looking forward to it.
Day 5. Oh my God. Very exciting.
Right there. The winning ticket.
Hello, everyone. Under the watchful eye of 2013 champ Ryan Reese, I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. Mark Newhouse played with Ryan Reese at last year's final table.
And I think he's been wearing the exact same clothes every day since last year's final table, and it works.
Longtime poker pro Maria Ho is in chartered waters.
She talks a good game and she plays a good game. Well, I can do half of that. Kind of.
32-year-old Kyle Karanen has a huge stack and experience on his side.
He just looks like he's going to beat you. Then again, everyone looks like they're going to beat me.
And there's an amateur, Curtis Reistad, a 44-year-old who calls himself a professional investor.
If he's a professional investor, I guess he runs roughshod over amateur investors, so I will stay out of his way.
291 remain. The average stack, 689,000. Matthew Haugen, the chip leader. Day 5 off and running. 3 chips in play. The 1K, 5K, and 25K presently.
6,683 started this main event, up 5% from last year. $10 million to the winner.
Folded to Karanen. He raised to 35,000 with ace-10. Reistad, the amateur, with over 1 million chips here in the main event on day 5. King-6 into the muck. Blinds right now at 8 and 16,000 with a 2K ante. Small blind. Casey Stewart folds to the big blind. Timur Margolin, Jack 8 of diamonds. We saw Timur hit quad 10s on day 4.
I think we also saw him 10-bet somebody with 8 tray. He's a whirling dervish.
Born in Ukraine, his family moved to Israel when he was 6. And he will call for 19,000 more and go heads up. The flop, Jack 4-9, top pair for Margolin. Karanen misses.
Yeah,
Margolin checks.
Leather ass. Yeah, I remember that guy. So Leather and I played member together at Pumpkin Ridge.
Reistad loves to chat, talking with Adam Coates during this hand.
He's a really good golfer.
Karanen bets 40,000.
And we get out there and we putt in on the 18.
Margolin.
And the head pro comes out, hands us a trophy, and he goes, "Oh, let's take your picture, guys." And we're like,
makes the call.
There's like a bunch of
it's like there's a poker hand and a book club going on here at the same time.
Turn card now, king of diamonds. Margolin is still best with his pair of jacks. He checks. Kyle with some more hope with the Broadway draw. And Kyle reaching for chips once again. That's 100 grand.
This is Margolin's first main event. He finished 10th in a no-limit hold'em event earlier at this World Series.
Kyle Karanen has a top 40 finish at the main event a couple of years ago.
It's about the poker here.
And a stack of orange equals 100,000. So there's the call.
Karanen has tried to shake off Margolin twice, and Margolin is still stuck to the bottom of his shoe.
River card is a tray, brings a third club on board, but Margolin ends up with the best hand and checks again.
Yeah, it's great to be friendly at the table, but when you're not in the hand, you need to be polite. Brian Devonshire wrote an article for Card Player where he talked about not breaking the zone of play. It's okay to converse on the other side of the table, but you shouldn't converse when players on either side of you are in a hand.
Kyle remains aggressive. 220 grand.
I got there again, huh?
Bet 220,000.
He's running good.
This will be a tough call for Margolin. Straight got there on the turn. Flush got there on the river. He's sitting on second pair.
And he gives it up. Well done, Kyle. You were convincing the whole way.
I like it. I appreciate it.
Well, Karanen blocks out the clamor and makes a very nice play.
I was just totally joking.
No, but
Poker, like other sports, has unwritten rules of etiquette. Turn over your hand quickly if you have the nuts. Don't peek at your opponent's hole cards. And when another player is thinking, don't carry on a loud side conversation. Now, this last rule is tricky, and when violated over and over again, it can set players on edge.
Here's the thing, Lon. If you are writing a symphony or cooking a bouillabaisse or playing a poker hand, you don't want some incessant buzzing in your ear. You have to focus, or you might screw up the melody or put in ginger instead of garlic or fold when you meant to raise. I wouldn't be surprised if Curtis Rystat showed up at a funeral with a bazooka. To Kyle Karanen's credit, his eyes are on the prize, and he's ignoring all the white noise around him.
He's got the glasses back on. That's Joe from
What if I go like
New York
this?
City.
Joe from New York. Yeah, he looks like Joe from New York.
Go like this.
Right by the place where they make the salsa, you know?
Joe from New York.
Curtis Rystat making sure everyone is familiar with each other at this feature table. This group sits under the lights mainly because of Kyle Karanen, a top 10 stack and a game that suits the main event well.
Kyle blew up after leading the main event back in 2012. I don't expect that to happen again.
Rystat is the third biggest stack at the table.
I don't know much about Curtis yet, but if first impressions count for anything, we'll be hearing a lot from him.
He opened for 35,000 with Jack-5 of clubs. In the cutoff, Casey Stewart has ace-king and has 3-bet to 85 grand. Back to Curtis now.
Rystat wants to splash around with Jack-5. Well, his feet are going to get wet.
He calls, he's heads up, and Stewart got just what he wanted. Here is the flop, 5-10 king. Bottom pair for Rystat. Stewart found his king. A check from Rystat.
This is Stewart's 6th World Series cash, all in Hold'em events, and he's made 3 World Series circuit final tables.
And he checks top pair, top kicker, and a jack on the turn, and Rystat turns jacks up to become the favorite and bets 50,000.
Bit of an odd slow play from Stewart on the flop. Players like to talk about balancing their ranges. That's too complicated for me, Lon. I just like to bet when I got it.
Stewart with a Broadway draw now makes the call. River card is another spade, the 9. Nice catch on the turn for Rystat. He is the one who has the unbeatable hand. They both check.
2 pair.
And 2 pair is good.
Rystat splashes his way to 2 pair. It is a winner.
Stewart not a happy camper. Curtis is always happy.
The Jackson 5. Can you say it with some soul? Jackson 5. That's where he started. That's where he started.
We'll be checking in constantly on Curtis Rystat. Over to an outer table where 2013 November Niner Mark Newhouse sits. After his success last year, there does not seem to be a good reason to change things up.
This whole tournament, I've been feeling very relaxed. You know, last year I was very excited. You know, there's a lot on the line, but this year, finishing 9th obviously was disappointing, but I got the same mindset. Whatever happens, happens. And I'm out there having fun playing poker.
Well, he's having fun here with King 4. Newhouse can be spewy.
Mark with a big stack, over $2 million raised from early position. He was called by Gabe Paul with his pocket 7s on the button. The flop is 8-4-6. Newhouse with bottom pair. Paul with a gut shot to go with his 7s. Mark checks.
Paul might be the bizarro Ben Stiller.
Paul checks. Turn card 5 of spades. Paul hits his straight, and he's got a straight flush draw. Mark drawing to a chop at best. He checks.
Paul, a 24-year-old DePaul grad.
And bets 41,000. And now Mark Newhouse. Easy call for him, huh?
Well, there's something about Gabe Paul that makes Newhouse think his hand is best.
River card. 8 of clubs. Newhouse is dead in the water, and he checks again. Now, Gabe Paul, who lives in Las Vegas now, bets $127,000.
Newhouse senses he's being bluffed by Paul. Doesn't put him on a flush, doesn't put him on a full house, and he certainly doesn't put him on a 7 for a straight, but bizarro Ben Stiller has 2 7s.
Mark thinking the bottom pair might be good. He does call.
That's a straight line twice.
That is so. Mark Newhouse not afraid to take that chance. Newhouse takes about a 10% hit to his stack, but he's still alive for back-to-back main event final tables. The 2014 World Series of Poker is dealt by the WSOP social game on Facebook and mobile. Try our new high roller tables today. A look at the Pinball Hall of Fame here in Las Vegas. 10,000 square feet of nothing but pinball. And there is the big stack at the featured table, Kyle Karanen. For the second time in 3 years, this Vegas pro is in great position to make the final 9.
The cool aspect to me being in this tournament still right now is that I've been here before and I can draw on that experience.
There's your chip leader, Drake University's Kyle Karanen.
It's just amazing to be able to redo it. I mean, I was chip leader going into day 6 last year, and I got 38. To be able to be here again and to have a redo is just, I mean, it's unreal. You know, I had a lot of nerves 2 years ago. I was playing for $8.5 million. And I mean, that just kind of blew my mind. I didn't really expect to have that kind of success. That was hard to deal with. I didn't sleep much on day 6. It was really hard for me to play well. Meanwhile, this year I've been sleeping like a baby. I just have no pressure on me at all, no nerves. I feel like I'm in total control. So, I mean, I just feel like that experience is just adding so much edge to my game right now.
Karanen, a cash game grinder here in Las Vegas, plays 5 or 6 days a week.
My friend from the other side of the pond. What's your name?
Stuart. Well, here, Stuart. Home, Stuart.
No, you got to do that again.
Wait, hold on.
Get a close-up on his face when he says that, because I don't know the difference there. So
here
it's
Stuart. I'm going to spell it wrong. Home, it's Stuart. Nicely. Spelled correctly.
Are you saying we don't speak nicely?
May or may not be.
Stuart. My last name is Stuart.
Is it really? Spelled right or spelled wrong?
According to you, probably spelled incorrectly. Yeah, but I think it's spelled correct.
Are you saying you don't know how to spell your own name? Say with conviction. You know how to spell it. He spells it right. Stuart.
Curtis Reistad, quite the MC at this featured table. Adam Coates under the gun with King, Queen of Diamonds.
You could say it like from Family Guy.
Family.
Same accent as well, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me hear your best Stewie.
Same. I've never seen it, but I just the same shape of head as well.
You watched Downton Abbey.
Of course.
Of course.
And Marry Harry.
You know who was the best comedian? Benny Hill.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. Oh, he was awesome. I loved his skits.
England don't do many things well, but we have all the best comedians. There are no comedians here, apart from yourself. But I've never seen your show.
Jerry Seinfeld, Bob Hope.
Never heard of them.
You've never heard of Bob Hope?
I genuinely haven't. Jerry Seinfeld, I've heard the name.
You've heard the name?
Yeah.
A lot of people these days probably haven't heard of Bob Hope, and that is sad.
Drew Carey?
But they can't be funny because they don't do sarcasm.
They don't do what?
They don't do sarcasm.
Oh, sorry. That is really big in England, isn't it?
All right, heads up.
Sarcasm.
That's all we have.
Top pair for Coates.
We have a comedian that played this, Ray Romano.
By the way, I'll call there Benny Hill and Rays with Sid Caesar.
Okay,
a check from Karanen.
I'm trying to say it English.
42,000 from Coates with top pair.
You give what a year?
Reistad again violating the zone with his talk. He's chatting with someone across the table while 2 players are in a hand in that chat zone.
Yeah.
And it looks like Kyle's in a check raising bluffing mood. 92,000 he makes it.
Well, Kyle slept well and is check raising with 5 high on that board. Maybe he needs to sleep less. You mentioned Coates is a poker dealer. Well, he should deal Reistad a bad beat one day for blabbering into his ear while he's in a big pot.
Adam told us he was a nervous wreck coming to this featured table. Turn card 6 of hearts, and now Kyle with a lot of reasons to stick around, picking up a straight flush draw.
Yeah, that turn card enables Keranen to switch from a bluff to a semi-bluff. He's still got 5 high.
Looks like Keranen wants to continue his aggression. He bets $115,000.
Coates looks suspicious of that bet, as he should be. The smell of Squadouche is quite pungent.
Well, Coates still has the best hand, and there is just a call. River card now is the 7 of hearts, and Keranen finds a flush in the hand that he was just trying to bluff early on.
Nah, his plan was to get there live.
All in.
And Keranen puts Coates all in.
I don't know if I would put them all in. Even with that raggedy board, it's hard to call off all your chips with top pair.
Adam Coates will fold, and Kyle will stack more chips, continuing to be the dominant player at this table.
I wonder what Kyle would have done there if he missed on the river.
Kyle up to more than 3.8 million chips. Almost 6,700 players began the main event. Just over 4% of them were women. We have 4 left here on day 5. Marcia Kuntz, a divorce attorney from Maryland, playing in her first main event.
Divorce attorney? I thought she looked familiar.
Mikio Aoki's still in the game. She finished second at this year's ladies event for almost $100,000.
She's done some poker dealing.
Darlene Lee has the shortest stack of the 4 females remaining.
She works as a cancer researcher in British Columbia, Canada.
And the most recognizable, Maria Ho, who has Sean Kelly halfway out the door. Maria flopped a pair of aces, leaving Kelly few options with his pocket jacks.
Kelly, a Mount Sinai, New York amateur.
Maybe taking a last drink. Turn card. Deuce of spades. So Kelly down to his last chance.
He's got to have a jack.
River card is a king. Aces up for Maria Ho. And that will be the last hand Sean Kelly plays at this main event.
This woman has no regard for any man in her poker path.
So Sean Kelly goes out in 228th place. Good for over 38 grand. Maria Ho now over the million chip mark.
Poker dealers are...
I played at the table earlier, the guy, he wore his glasses like this, but when he got in a hand, and then he flipped them upside down. I don't understand what that's all about.
I got a feeling Rystad could clear a room at a
for the main event.
Well,
one spade in their tray, 8-4. Rystad with bottom 2 pair.
Yeah, and 4 tray now is playing like pocket aces.
26,000, a small bet. No immediate help on that flop for Rotondo.
Yeah, that bet should end matters.
Say again?
Oh, Rotondo has other thoughts, Lana. I never have any thoughts.
He does call for 26,000. Turn card now.
Representative.
Is a 10. That pairs Rotondo, but he better be careful with top pair. 80,000 now from Rystad.
Rotondo originally was probably intending to bluff the turn. Now he's probably to be calling all in with 1 pair on the turn.
Christian Rotondo is going to have to make it happen on the river, or his main event is done.
King of diamonds, please.
Rotondo needs a 10, 8, or 7.
The river is a 5. Rotondo is gone.
Gracias, amigo. Buena suerte,
Out in 208th place, he wins almost $45,000. A nice birthday run for Rotondo.
Well done there by Curtis Rystad.
Curtis reaching towards $2 million now. A nice bump with that knockout.
You're good at that 2-pair trick.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're really good at making 2 pair.
Well, I'll be honest. There's someone that I'd like to make a good hand against.
I think I can figure out who that is.
Because then we could have a little fun, couldn't we?
Rystad enjoying himself, sometimes at the expense of the big stack.
When I was younger, I remember saying, you know, you're a kid. I can't do that. And my dad would say, why, yes, you can. You're a Rystad. You can do it. I drank the Kool-Aid. I mean, I believe it 100%. This is the big boy table. We play in a home game every week. I've ridden everybody at the table. We just ride each other. It's good fun, good natured. I'm not trying to make anybody upset or mad. I have been known to get people to go on tilt, so I guess there's an advantage strategy-wise that way. At the end of the day, I want to have fun. And, you know, if you're not having fun, then what are you doing here? It's Jackson 5. Can you say with some soul? Jackson 5. Gracias, amigo. Buena suerte, you're going to make money. And how many times do you come to Vegas and you're going to leave with more money than you came? That doesn't happen too often. So why wouldn't you be smiling? Why wouldn't you be happy? You get busted out, all right? So you get busted out, you know? You got money in your pocket. You didn't lose anything. You know, it's a free roll.
That's how you handle the big stack bully. You pop him right back. Pop.
Karen trying to ignore the Curtis Rystat show.
I know. I was a bully when I was a kid.
You're alone in a room, do you just sit there and talk to yourself? Because you haven't shut up for 4 hours. And do you see how everybody laughs? Yeah. They agree with me. You're just like you're just a monologue. It just keeps going. It's not interesting. It's not funny. You just sit there and talk to yourself. It's ridiculous. I've never met anybody like you.
Well, of course you haven't.
And the answer to this question is yes, is that...
Yes, absolutely.
And there's nothing
you know
wrong
what?
with
I got
that.
no sleep. I thought I'd be playing at this table with you, and I was going to see how I could tilt you.
Yeah, I'm off my game completely. You did it.
I can't wait to get in a hand with you.
Now we got a poker game.
Absolutely. Get in there, big boy.
What were we playing before? Wasn't poker?
Bridge.
I sympathize with Kyle's irritation, but he would have been better served not to voice it.
Well, there is a line in any competition that one should not cross, and Curtis might be straddling the line right now. He raises with Queen Jack suited to 35 grand.
And the other thing for Kyle to think about, when you engage Rystat, I think you're playing his game.
Kyle, I don't want you to get upset. I'm just trying to have fun. Wherever I go, I try to have fun.
I'm not upset. I don't care. Just, you got 50 opinions for my one, so I figured I'd offer my opinion about you.
I like it. Now that we got your opinion, the only thing I'm lacking is your chips.
Good luck with that.
Curtis is escalating this confrontation. Where will he go next? Back in a moment. 2014 main event coming your way at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Come on, Dylan. Say you can. Say you can, baby. Oh, God.
Welcome back to the Rio. It takes 7 days of play to get to the final table. We're just starting day 5. David Einhorn over 640 grand.
The rich get richer. How much richer can he get? Jeez.
Toronto native Griffin Benger has the third biggest stack in the room.
You cannot win the main event wearing a Toronto Blue Jays cap.
Norway's Felix Stevenson survived the seat next to Phil Ivey and has over 900,000.
And where is Phil Ivey right now? I don't care because he's dead to me.
Back to the main event of the main event. Curtis Rystat at this featured table. Queen Jack of Hearts.
Married with 3 kids. This is his 7th main event.
Raised 35,000.
You only pick on people smaller than you.
Oh, I want to get in with the big guy. See, you get full value if you get it all in. The complete double up.
Casey Stewart. Jack 10 suited.
Unmarried with a dog.
Lives in Vegas. 4th straight main event he's played in. First cash he calls. Timur Margolin on the button with pocket 9s.
Married with a son. The main event is a panoply of living souls.
Big blind. Stuart Rudder.
Curtis, if I call as well, you tell one of your jokes at the end of the hand? Promise?
I'm going to work on one. I had a little banter here with the big stack next to me. I'll think a good one here.
Blinds fold. 3 players will see the flop.
I know.
That's your problem.
The other ones are good.
Yeah, they were. I'm not sure the feature table are appropriate.
5 queen 8. Top pair for Rystat. 30,000. A gut shot for Stewart.
30,000? That makes it almost a bargain to chase your gut shot.
And Stewart will do at least that. He has more. He raises to 83,000, and the pocket 9s for Margolin are a long shot.
Yeah, I don't much like pocket 9s here with a bet and a raise in front of him.
Margolin chips in hand and cold calls Stewart's raise.
Wow. You know, online you can call by accident, Lon. It's harder to do live.
Let's play a pot, boys.
He's not going anywhere. So almost 400,000 in the middle.
Booyah. Where's Joe? Cowboy, time to cowboy up right now. I like it. I like it. You stare at him, I'll stare at you.
He's not staring at you, though.
Turn card now. Another queen and trips for Rystad. Stewart with a straight flush draw now. Rystad checks.
How does Rystad check there?
Stewart checks.
Stewart says, I'll gladly take a free one to draw to my straight flush.
Margolin's nines, an even longer shot now, and he checks.
Wisely.
How'd that happen?
River card now. And how did that happen? The one outer comes through. Margolin scores nines full, and that gives a straight to Stewart.
25.
But it's Rystad betting 225.
Yeah, that river nine hits two hands, and the one hand it didn't hit leads out. Stewart, of course, never folding here, contemplating a raise.
With a queen high straight. And that's just a call.
Margolin had a 4% hand on the flop and a 2% hand on the turn. Well, 4% on the flop plus 2% on the turn equals 100% on the river.
Now, how much can he get from the other two guys here?
Smaller.
He says all in for 474. Trip queens for Rystad. And a fold. And now Stewart.
And Stewart getting better than 5-1 on a call. But if he calls here, he'll be down to 8 big blinds.
What a spot for Stewart.
Stuart, wait, would you tell Clyde here that you were requesting me to make a joke?
He was under the impression the whole table agreed with him.
Rystad just called Kyle Karanen Clyde.
He did, didn't he?
And I know he's got me confused with someone who cares about his opinion.
There we go, there's the joke. We got it out.
It was funnier because you laughed at it, right? When you make a joke, you're supposed to laugh at it yourself. Makes it funnier.
Oh, you like the dry humor?
Kyle, let's hear you tell a joke.
Are they awarding chips for jokes here? I thought this was a poker table.
It is a poker table.
Somebody's giving away chips for running your mouth. Because you're going to get first in that one.
Well, then I'm already in the lead.
There's the laugh. There it is. Yes. Got to punctuate your jokes by laughing at them.
You know what? You got a good smile, though. You should be grimacing all the time.
And now he's trying to get a date. Sorry, guys.
Meanwhile, Stewart with a critical decision.
Take your time. Kyle's entertaining us.
Again, the chatter does not give due regard to a fellow player with a critical decision. Stewart cannot put Margolin on a hand. He might be deciding whether Margolin has 7-6 for a straight. He can't figure Margolin calling a bet and a raise on that flop with pocket nines.
Stewart calls.
That's full.
And he will ship most of his stack to Margolin.
I had everybody beat on the turn. He's got a 10.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, both hands. Turn him over. I had to beat.
That's Jack 10 obviously.
Yeah, no, I know I should have shipped on the turn.
Margolin nearly triples up when his affection for pocket nines pays off in the end, while Stewart suffers a terrific blow to his main event chances.
He re-raises me, and then when the queen comes, I'm like,
you had queen jack?
I had queen jack. I'm waiting him for you guys bet on the turn. You both call. I know. That's what I love about that. You guys have no respect, and then I turn. I got you guys drawn to.
They're both drawing to the same river card.
Yeah, and they get there. And what I love is they have no respect for my game. that guy's in there with Jackson 5.
If they don't respect your jokes, you might as well go home.
I look at it.
Leave your chips and go.
Now, critique this. Stewart. Is that better? Stewart.
Much better. You got it.
Main event update. Kyle Karanen still not amused. Back inside the Amazon room, just 198 players remaining, each with a chance at the $10 million first place prize. But it's Griffin Benger with the best chance right now as the chip leader. 10th place Bruno Politano in a dream scenario with pocket kings. He flopped set over set against former chip leader Zach Gigante. Politano bet 279 on the flop. Gigante with a set of nines with a raise to 657.
Set over set has destroyed more young poker lives than Doyle Brunson and clubbing combined.
Politano owns a women's accessory store in Brazil. One comes off the table, and $1.2 million go into the middle.
Lon, this story gets told a lot at the poker table, and it always ends up with all the chips in the middle.
You saw both of these guys on the leaderboard. Gigante with a slightly bigger stack.
Gigante hoping Politano has top 2 here, but deep down, he knows he's
who's just 2 cards away from a
Politano sweating as a 24-1 favorite. Hate to see what he looks like when he buys a Powerball ticket.
So Gigante in big-time trouble when he thought he was the one holding the reins. 5 of clubs. Gigante still looking for that one outer.
Only the last 9 in the deck saves Gigante.
The river card is an 8. Politano survives and thrives now as the top stack in the room.
Gigante cut down to 22 big blinds.
And you look at our player tracker, and what a boon that was to the Brazilian from 10th place all the way to the main event chip lead on day 5. And as you mentioned, Norman, Gigante now with scraps, 358,000 chips. There is a new boss in the house, Bruno Politano. 198 players left in the field. We check in once again with the divorce attorney from Maryland, Marcia Kuntz. Though she's never represented Norman Chad, she is one of the remaining first-timers left in the field.
I went to film school. I still work in film. I'm an editor. I play cards part-time. It's been going pretty well the last couple of years. It's been a roller coaster over the last couple days. I'm peaking right now, so that's awesome. Just broke 200K for the first time. Happy to be in it still. My flight is the red-eye home tomorrow night, so probably push it back if I make dinner break tonight. It's kind of like setting in that I'm actually here. It feels really great. And get this, my table draw for tomorrow, I don't know if you see that, it says 384 seat 5, and that's the seat I've been in all day today. I feel like that's got to be some run good right there, so I'm feeling excited for tomorrow.
I was a poker dealer in West Virginia. Had to quit that. I became a full-time caregiver for my grandma. This means a lot to her, and it means a lot to me because I finally made it out here for the main, you know. It's really exciting. I do have designs on surviving one hand, one level, one day at a time. A little bit of the burden is lifted once you get in the money. So, yeah, feeling good. My goal for the tournament is to continue on to day 5 and then on to day 6. And then what? We'll wrap play on day 7, and I plan on a nice relaxing break between day 7 and November.
I'm a lawyer. I'm in sort of this tournament pool, and I won a part of the buy-in, so I had to use it for something at the WSOP, so I decided I'd go for the main event. Poker is kind of an obsession. I love it. I could just do it for hours, just completely lose myself in it. I just keep extending my flight and my hotel night by night because I don't want to jinx it. I made some pretty big mistakes earlier and lost a lot of chips, but I'm just trying to methodically make my way back up. It's a grind, but it's the greatest thing in the world. This is the ultimate fulfillment of an obsession, and I don't want to go home, so I'm trying to hang in there.
Marcia feeling pretty good right now after turning quad 10s against Hugh Wynn, who's thinking if I could just fill my straight on the river. 50,000 from Marcia. And Wynn makes it 125K.
That's not his optimal play.
You don't think?
Oh, look at this. Act 1, scene 1 of Marcia Kuntz in distress.
I call.
Just a call with 4 10s. Wynn says, why did you call? River card, 4 of diamonds.
Act 2, scene 1. Marcia Kuntz in distress.
Win? That's out. 70,000.
One bet. 70,000.
Act 2, scene 2.
Marcia figuring out how to get the full double up.
Act 3, scene 1. It's a surprise ending. She's no longer in distress.
A raise to 200,000. Now will Win wave the white flag.
Oh.
He does.
Couldn't shove.
Oh, nice.
Poker code, got to show the quads.
Hey, she's no shyster. She's Meryl Streep.
You picked that time not to show?
Marcia with almost 1.3 million chips, this first-timer making the most of her main event debut. The 2014 main event coming your way at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Gracias, amigo. Buena suerte, eh?
Where do you come from, man? Unreal. What state harbors people like you? Is what I want to know.
It's the tournament that poker players dream about all year long. The World Series of Poker main event. Short stack Casey Stewart all in with ace-9, called by Kyle Karanen with ace-5.
For 9-ball. 9-ball.
Curtis Rystat upping the ante on his third-rate antics, outwardly rooting against Karanen.
The flop is 7-deuce-7. The bigger ace of Stewart still bigger.
9 on the river like last time, not this time.
9 on the river last time against Margolin. Took away most of Stewart's stack.
Turn card king of spades. Well, the favorite right now is a chop pot, actually.
Lower than 10, please.
And it's a 6. No chop. Stewart's kicker will play. He'll collect the full double up.
Nice. Nice. Let's chip away at him, boys.
Curtis trying to gang up on Kyle.
If us minnows can get together, we can chip away at the big bully chip leader, Shark.
Are you advocating team play, sir?
No, I'm advocating you getting felted.
That's funny. These jokes are really good. God, man, just shut up. Seriously.
I can see you control your temperament very well.
You're just a clown, dude. Seriously. Most annoying player I've ever played with in my entire life.
Well, I would be disappointed if I wasn't.
Literally, without question. On TV, no less.
I see. Wherever.
Class act. I bet that's a phrase you haven't heard very often in your life.
Yeah. Adam has played with me before.
Folded to Karanen, ace-9 off. And a raise to 35,000.
Kyle has a degree in international relations, but I doubt there was ever a class on the Rystat conundrum.
Curtis with ace-queen of diamonds here. And just a call.
Curtis clearly has gotten under Kyle's skin, but I wish Kyle could contain his reactions of late.
Lest they become collateral damage, everyone else folds.
You and me, Kyle. Awesome.
Yeah, at this point, Rystat would have played 2 cards from an Uno deck against Kyle.
Jack-Jack-7. Rystat's kicker still the difference maker here. A check from Kyle, a check from Curtis. Turn card 8 of clubs, misses both of them. And like last hand, a chop pot is a possibility. Check, check. River card 6 of hearts. A check again. Nobody can pull the trigger.
Well, Kyle played his ace high well. He'll lose the minimum.
Curtis will take that small pot.
We'll get a little of him. Some of those chips. Got a lot of work to do, though.
Rystat trying to chip away at the big stack, but Kyle Karanen not in a giving mood.
I can see you control your temperament very well.
You're just a clown, dude. Seriously.
Now that we got your opinion, the only thing I'm lacking is your chips.
Somebody who's giving away chips for running your mouth?
Well, then I'm already in the lead.
Most annoying player I've ever played with in my entire life.
Well, I would be disappointed if I wasn't.
Literally, without question.
14 World Series of Poker is dealt by the World Series of Poker Circuit Tour. Looking for live tournament action in a market near you? Check out the new schedule at WSOP.com. A look at Hoover Dam, not too long a drive from the Las Vegas Strip. Someone with some time to sightsee. Zach Gigante, once a force in this event, now gone in 185th place.
He was a kid with a dream.
But he'll collect almost 45 grand. Maria Ho not leaving the Rio anytime soon. She has over 1 million chips.
I wanted to compete on the Amazing Race, but they told me I couldn't do it from my couch.
The average stack is what Maria sits with. Bruno Politano, the man to beat with 4.8 million. Back to poker's new odd couple.
Wouldn't you like to double up through him?
I'm not particular about who I double up through. I'd
but
be
he's
happy
got
to double through anybody
you get full
that has me
value
covered.
with him. You know, he's full value.
Rystat and Karanen. Action on Kyle, and with an opportunity here, pocket aces.
Kyle has been thinking about moving back to Los Angeles to pursue acting again, but frankly, I think he'd move to LA right now just to get away from Curtis Rystat.
A raise to 35,000. Adam Coates folds.
Give me the 8-7 suited.
Why does he even look when Kyle's in a hand? You know he's going to play.
Well, he's been dying to play pots with Kyle, and that should eventually burn him.
Raise.
Queen 4 off, and he announces re-raise. He makes it 85 grand, and Kyle says, thank you.
Yeah, on the inside, Kyle Karanen is bouncing around like Richard Simmons.
But he has to wait for the rest of the table to act. No other takers so far. So now back to Kyle Karanen with the aces, re-raised by Curtis Rystad. And he repops it, 4-bets it to 260.
Pocket aces against Rystad. Karanen just wants to shout that out to the world.
Instantly. Opportunity to get all you can eat buffet.
No slow play from Karanen. And wow, Rystad willing to burn through his chips in an attempt to trip up Kyle.
Here is the flop. King, king, 4 aces up now for Karanen. King's up for Rystad. Kyle checks.
Yeah, that board might worry Kyle a little.
A check back from Curtis. Turn card now is another 4. Oh my goodness. Salt in the wound. Curtis turns a full boat and Kyle checks.
Lon, that turn card is a slap in the face to poker justice and human justice.
A check back from Rystad.
How does Curtis not bet there?
Wow, 9 of clubs. So Karanen's aces have been cracked.
No, can't blame Kyle for betting. Can't blame Kyle for thinking he finally has his man.
And look at that look on Curtis's face. More, he's saying to Kyle. Bring more into the middle. 380.
Call.
Aces? No good here.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a full boat. Thanks for playing.
That's Bush League. Thanks for coming.
Any pot. Blind I'm going to call. Because I'm going to stack you. Gone. Get in pots with me, please. I want the full value.
Yeah, you got it there, man. Got that 1 bet. That's full value.
Well, you can't put them. I can't get them from you if you don't put them in.
Are we all having dinner together or what?
I'll make reservations.
That's the way it's going.
The more they hate you at first, the more they love you in the end.
He's gonna love me later.
Don't sweat it, Curtis.
I can promise you
Come on, we'll give you,
that's not true.
TV timeout. Give him a chance to come when he come back, would you?
So you didn't laugh after you said that, so no one knew if it was a joke or not.
He laughed.
Oh, he did laugh?
And on that note, time for the DraftKings.com King of the Night. For his trash talk, Curtis Rystad was definitely royalty in this session.
You remember how you felt when you were a little kid and you're like, I'm at the big boy table, you know, and you're just like barely up to the top.
This is the big boy table?
This is the big boy table.
It doesn't feel like it.
But the real king right now, Brazil's Bruno Politano, over 5 million chips, the first player to cross that barrier in this tournament. Venger in second, our old friend Leaf Force in third place, and well-respected pro Matt Waxman in 10th.
If you can't root for Leaf Force, then you can't root for life itself.
Most nights at the World Series of Poker, the chips do the talking, not tonight.
You just sit there and talk to yourself. You're just a monologue. Never met anybody like you.
Can't wait to get in a hand with you.
Now we got a poker game.
There's the laugh.
While Karanen and Rystad stole the show at the featured table, others made headway. There were lots of fireworks, but it was Rystad getting the last laugh.
Thanks for playing.
For Norman, Chad, and Kara.